For more than 1,000 years, Rome was not just a city or a government. It was a presence in everyday life. A farmer in Gaul felt Rome when taxes were collected after harvest. A merchant in Alexandria felt Rome when ships arrived safely under imperial protection. A soldier on the Rhine felt Rome every morning when he put on armor that did not belong to him, fighting for a state he might never see. Rome was not abstract. It was personal. It shaped how people lived, what they feared, and what they hoped their children might become. And for centuries it worked. So when Rome collapsed, it wasn't just an empire that disappeared. It was millions of lives forced to change. This is the story of how Rome rose, how it ruled, and why, despite unmatched power, it slowly lost control of its own future. Rome was never meant to rule the world. It began as a small, muddy settlement beside the Tiber River, surrounded by enemies who were stronger and more established. Early Romans lived with constant danger, raids, wars, uncertainty. There was no promise of greatness, only survival. A Roman farmer didn't dream of empire. He worried about crops, neighbors, and the next conflict. But pressure shaped Roman character. Because life was hard, Romans valued discipline. Because resources were limited, they valued organization. Because threats were constant, they valued unity. Instead of kings, they tried shared power. Instead of tradition, they tried laws. Instead of loyalty to bloodlines, they rewarded service. The Roman Republic wasn't elegant. It was loud, argumentative, often unstable, but it allowed change. And change gave Rome an advantage no rival could match. Rome conquered, but not like others. When Roman soldiers entered a defeated town, not every home burned, not every temple was destroyed. Life continued. Local leaders kept authority. Religions were tolerated. Customs survived. In exchange, Rome demanded loyalty, taxes, and soldiers. A young man from a conquered village might one day wear Roman armor, march under Roman banners, earn Roman pay. After years of service, he might receive land, citizenship, a future his parents never imagined. Rome offered something rare in the ancient world: upward mobility. This created loyalty stronger than fear. The Roman legion was terrifying not because it was brutal, but because it was reliable. Soldiers knew they would be paid, fed, replaced if injured, honored if they survived. Where legions marched, roads followed. Markets followed. Families followed. Rome didn't just conquer land, it reorganized life. But success created new pressures. As Rome expanded, the Republic struggled to keep control. Senators argued in marble halls, while armies fought thousands of miles away. Generals gained fame. Soldiers gained loyalty to men, not institutions. A Roman citizen in the city began to feel disconnected. Votes felt meaningless. Politics felt violent. Reforms failed. Corruption grew. Riots became common. Rome's system, once flexible, started to crack. When Julius Caesar crossed the Rubicon, ordinary Romans didn't see treason. They saw order returning. After decades of chaos, people wanted stability. They wanted food to arrive, wages to be paid, violence to stop. The Republic fell not because people hated it, but because it no longer protected them. The empire brought peace. Under Augustus, Rome stabilized. Borders hardened. Civil war ended. A generation grew up knowing only imperial rules. Markets flourished. Cities expanded. Trade routes thrived. A merchant could travel from Spain to Syria using Roman roads, Roman law, Roman currency. For many, this was the best life had ever been. The Pax Romana was not perfect, but it was predictable. And predictability creates loyalty. But empires age. The children of peace did not remember chaos. The grandchildren did not understand sacrifice. Rome's system depended on expansion. New land, new wealth, new rewards. But expansion slowed, and when growth stopped, pressure returned. Taxes increased, currency lost value, corruption spread, a farmer worked harder for less. A soldier waited longer for pay. A citizen felt ignored. The army grew political. Emperors rose and fell rapidly. For soldiers on the frontier, loyalty became survival. Back one emperor or die when another takes power. Civil wars returned. Rome's strength was being used against itself. Meanwhile, borders stretched thin. New groups arrived, not always as invaders, but as migrants. Families seeking land, safety, opportunity, old assumptions, old power structures. But the world was changing. Trade routes shifted. Economies evolved. Warfare modernized. Rome struggled to adapt. Reforms were proposed, but blocked. Every change threatened someone's comfort. Elites resisted. Bureaucracy expanded. Innovation slowed. The empire didn't collapse. It exhausted itself. Cities declined. Trade shrank. Local leaders took control where Rome could not. In the West, authority faded. Soldiers defended their own lands. Governors ruled independently. In 476 AD, when the last Western emperor was removed, most people barely noticed. Life had already changed. Rome was gone, but slowly, quietly, humanly. The Eastern Empire survived because it adapted, changed structures, shifted power. Rome's lesson is not about defeat. It's about people. An empire survives when ordinary lives improve, when systems serve citizens, when power evolves. Rome fell not because it was weak, but because it stopped listening to the people who lived inside it. Rome ruled the world, but history doesn't wait for anyone, not even Rome.